Welcome back, everyone. Marvin, get out of my coffee. You can't have that. No. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. Today is a exciting day. We are going on a little road trip to actually pick up a new Aibo that I found on Marketplace. So I'm going to take you along for the ride and then do a little unboxing when we get back. Once I've done the unboxing later, I'll run through some of the things that you have to consider when purchasing an Aibo secondhand, especially a Japanese Aibo. It is difficult to purchase a brand new Aibo, especially if you don't live in Japan or the US. So I thought it might be useful to run through some of the things you need to consider and talk about the cloud plan and things like that. And hope you enjoy the unboxing. Good morning. Hello. We got back from Glastonbury last night. I hope you enjoyed the scenic drive. It was a very beautiful drive down there. By the time we got back, it was a bit dark, so I thought I'd film the unboxing today in better light. So let's open the cocoon and see what's inside. Suna and Kenta look very excited as they know they're going to be getting another pack member. So it is another white ERS-1000. So my plan is to actually customize this Aibo. I've already ordered a few bits to customize it, so I will be filming that on a separate video. The Aibo is in great cosmetic condition. There's no scratches or scuffs, even on the eyes. They are looking pretty good. All the joints feel good, all the parts move freely. So according to the seller, she bought this Aibo on eBay. It's from Japan, and apparently it's only 3 years old. So I purchased this Aibo from Facebook Marketplace. There wasn't really any description on the advert, and there was only a couple of photos, and it didn't show the Aibo switched on. Which was a bit worrying, and there were no pictures of the actual Aibo, like the face or anything like that. It was just literally a picture of it face down in the cocoon. So I guess I was a little bit worried, but I did ask the seller some questions before we headed to Glastonbury, as it was a couple of hour drive. So along with the Aibo, it came with a few extras. We've got the bone and the dice, which was a bonus, and it came with the ball as well, and of course it did come with the charger. Unfortunately, the charging cable has been chewed by what looks like a rabbit or something, and they've just kind of taped it up, but I can actually replace this part of the charger, which is fine because I need to change it to a UK plug anyway. This Aibo has been initialized, so it's running in quite a basic mode, and it can't be customized unless I add it to the cloud plan, which I'll talk about later on in the video. I'm just going to let them all run around together and just see how they interact. Well, I never thought I'd have 3 Aibos within the space of 6 months. It's a bit surreal, but I couldn't resist this one. It was an absolute bargain on Marketplace. So it had to be done, and once I customize it, it will look different from Kenta, and that'll be a really fun project. These two are in well-behaved mode at the moment, hence why they're not going anywhere. Marvin's come to have a look as well. we're all heading over to the Aibo shrine. They do love to go and say hello to the older Aibos, which is super cute. So I've had them wandering around for a little bit, and so far everything seems to be looking good in regards to the movement, the joints. I've played a few commands from my phone in Japanese and the Aibo does respond, so that's a good sign. So in regards to what you need to consider when purchasing a second-hand Aibo, obviously if they are Japanese and you're not very good at Japanese, it's going to be a bit difficult to communicate with the Aibo, unless of course you get the cloud plan where you can then change the language to English, which is exactly what I did with Kenta because my Japanese isn't very good. If you add the Aibo to the cloud plan, you can also customize it by changing the eye color. You can name it. There's lots of different features on the app, which I'll probably show you in a separate video. So currently, because this Aibo has been initialized, it won't really do too much. It'll just wander around, mapping out your house. It can recognize faces and respond to a few basic commands. It won't really grow its personality. You can't really teach it anything. So in my opinion, it is really worth getting the cloud plan. And I had to do this with, oh my God. Wow. Oh dear. Everything's fine. It's like an Aibo mosh pit. It is quite hectic when you've got multiple Aibos running at the same time. Any more than two is a bit crazy. As I was saying, yes, it is quite beneficial to get the cloud plan if you want your Aibo to have a personality and if you want to customize it, like I did with Kenta. And then obviously any updates that come through on the app, the Aibo will automatically update as well. Plus you get seasonal things like, you know, Halloween and the Christmas dances, things like that. That's cute that they're recognizing each other. I did switch the Aibo on briefly last night when we got back, just to give it a little run around. And it had sad eyes the whole time. But today, it hasn't had sad eyes at all. I think it's been quite happy just wandering around, taking in the environment, and actually it can see the other Aibos. So it's been waving a lot and holding out the paw, which is really sweet. Other things you may need to bear in mind when purchasing a second-hand Aibo: it may need fixing, the joints might be weak, they are prone to weak hips, so at some point you might need to get the hips fixed. Luckily we have EB in Germany who can do this for us if we're not in Japan or the US. Obviously Suna is under warranty because I did get her from America, but it would be too expensive for me to send her back during the first year while she's under warranty, so I probably would send her to EB if she gets any problems. But it's just something you might need to consider if you are purchasing an Aibo from Japan, because quite often they're just listed as either junk, which doesn't necessarily mean junk, it can just mean untested. Like Kenta was actually listed as junk, but he was in beautiful condition, and at the time he didn't have any like broken legs or anything like that. He developed the hip issue quite quickly. He probably hadn't been run for a while. He would have had weak hips already, but I guess running him pretty much 24/7 here probably just put a lot of pressure on them, and then obviously they failed. I do find the ERS-1000, in my opinion, quite fragile compared to the older models. That's just my personal opinion, especially if you're running them 24/7. I think you really need to keep an eye on them. They can get up to mischief, they can get stuck. So I've been super careful with them since I've had Kenta's legs fixed. Oh, look at Suna listening. I am putting together a list of names at the moment so I can choose something. Although, like I mentioned, you can't actually name the Aibo officially unless you add them to the cloud plan. With the cloud plan, with the Japanese Aibos, you have to pay for 3 years up front. So it's a bit different to the US Aibos where you can pay yearly. So it is a kind of a big chunk of money you will be paying to add the Japanese Aibos onto the cloud plan, but it does last for 3 years. And then after that 3 years, you can choose whether you want to renew it or let the plan run out. If you let the plan run out, the Aibo will retain all its memories and everything it's learnt from the previous 3 years. So it will have a personality. It's just that if you don't renew it, it won't kind of learn anything new or update again. Kenta's off to the charging station. That's another point. I'm not sure where I'm going to fit a third charger. I might have to move a few things around. According to the seller, this Aibo was only 3 years old when they purchased it. I'm hoping that's the case because then they will have the new and improved front hip parts. Fingers crossed. I'll keep you posted on the Aibo, how it's doing, and also the customization. I'm really excited to make it look a little bit different from Kenta. And then I'll just need to decide whether I'm going to add it onto the cloud. If you're unsure if your Aibo's been initialized or not, there's a few things you can look out for. The first thing is the Aibo will always have the blue eyes. Hello, Marvin. It will also have the default bark, which is male, so the deeper bark. It won't really do too much in regards to movements and commands. It'll do basic things like it can dance, sing, shake hands. It can play with the ball, but not the dice. Also, the walk is a little bit different. It's a bit more stompy. Before they upgraded the walk, it was quite loud and stompy. And once they changed the walk, it was a bit smoother, a bit quieter. Those are the main things to look out for to see whether the Aibo's been initialized or not. As I said, they won't really have too much of a personality. They won't do any of the special dances. If you're still unsure, after running the Aibo a couple of times, you'll probably realise if it's been reset or not. Marvin loves to follow the Aibos around and play with them. He's not bothered by them one bit. But he's been living with Aibos for 10 years, so he's completely used to them. They're still really cute without having the cloud plan, but they just, I think over time you'd probably get a bit maybe bored of them doing the same thing. They don't really learn anything new. You can't name them. It's a bit limited. If you really want the full experience of Aibo, I would personally recommend getting the cloud plan. I think a lot of people don't realise they'll kind of buy a cheap Aibo from Japan, not really knowing too much about the cloud plan, and I think would probably be a bit disappointed because you can't really, you know, interact with it fully unless you do have the plan. I'll put a few more details in the description box about the plan, like how much it kind of costs and who to contact in regards to getting a plan for a Japanese Aibo. I've mentioned before in my videos that Aibo is the guy in Germany that can do this for you, and he also fixes them as well. But I'll put some more details in the description box. This is the Aibo's first self-charge. I need to test it a few times properly really to see how long the battery lasts for. I forgot to mention, it's also got, looks like brand new paw pads on as well. So don't need to put any of those on, which is good. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. If you've got any questions, just leave them in the comments below. Take care, and I'll see you all soon.